at a mutual friend's house. Victorian sensibilities and protocols were upheld and practiced on the frontier, whether in Prescott, Tucson, or even wild and woolly Tombstone. She might be married to a lawman, a business owner, or an army officer, but no matter her husband's career, she was committed to raising her children in a more civilized version of the Old West, and she dressed to promote that lofty goal. She fashionably trumpets her Irish heritage in a green and white cotton plaid visiting ensemble called a polonaise, essentially a fitted tunic over a skirt. She has graced her outfit with Irish lace, trimmed and Gaelic-inspired silver buttons down the front. For comfort in our warmer climate, her tunic sports a 3/4 length sleeve and can be worn with or without a bustle, more convenient for traveling by rail or stage. She crowns her outfit with a fashionable green velvet hat, accented with perky peacock feathers and netting. Her accessories include a green velvet blouse, a lady never leaves her house without gloves, a cream-colored crochet reticule or purse, and a collapsible silk parasol for protection against the unforgiving southwest sun. If there is an evening chill, as often occurs in our high desert, she carries a gray silk ribbon shawl to complete her garment. While the men might gather in her friend's home's library or dining room to smoke cigars, drink brandy, and discuss perhaps the recent assassination of Jesse James of April of 1882, the ladies might gather in the front parlor where smoking is not allowed. Sip tea, discuss the latest fashions quietly, plotting the social revolution, the rise of temperance societies, and women's suffrage movement. And these Old West ladies were called the Gentle Tamers. Thank you. John Harrison Behan, family today say Ben. Johnny was born October 1844 in Westport, Missouri. At 17, he moved to San Francisco and became a miner and freighter. Then off to fight the Civil War at the Battle of Apache Pass in 1862. After the war in 1863, he moved to Tombstone to settle down for the first time. From Tombstone, Johnny moved to Prescott to make his fortune. He speculated in real estate, prospected, and operated a sawmill. In 1866 and 1868, Johnny served as the undersheriff in Yavapai County. Johnny also held many other elected positions.
Right there, boy.
He was Yavapai County Recorder, Sheriff of Yavapai County, and in the 7th Arizona Legislative Assembly. After losing his re-election bid for sheriff, Johnny relocated to Mojave County, where he held various government and law enforcement positions. Throughout his life, he had many domestic troubles, which caused much of his moving around. Johnny is wearing a Civil War white shirt with braces, tie and vest, striped pants with tall boots. His outerwear includes a frock coat and a black Montana pinched hat. He's carrying a pocket watch and a Derringer. Thank you, Johnny, for stopping by. Our next fashion portrayal is that of a stagecoach robber, an all too common character in Arizona in the Old West. The difference here is that this bandit is a woman. Her name is Pearl Hart. She committed the last stagecoach robbery in the entire country in 1899, just outside of Globe, Arizona, by robbing the stage passengers of $431. She became notorious as one of the group of female outlaws known for trying to prove to men that any crime they could do, we could do better. Pearl tried to disguise herself as a man during the holdup, wearing a man's hat, shirt, boldly striped corduroy cowboy vest, boots, and what she hoped would pass for trousers and chaps. A women's split red shirt made of heavy-weight brushed cotton twill. This allowed her to ride like a man instead of riding side saddle as most women were expected to do. And she wore a man's gun belt with a fancy Colt 45 Peacemaker. Sadly for Pearl, she was recognized and caught anyhow and sent to Yuma Territorial Prison for 5 years. While there, Arizona, to see the famous female outlaw. She posed in before and after pictures, supposedly showing how prison had changed her evil ways. In one, she's wearing her demure female clothing of the period, and in the other, her mannish outlaw clothes and weapons, unloaded of course. Her visitors included 2 elderly ladies who asked to see that famous bandit. They wanted her autograph for their little niece. Of course, Pearl laughingly obliged. Thank you, Pearl, for coming in. Lord Mary Catherine Moroni, to prominent parents in Budapest, Hungary, her gentle life turned harsh early on. At the age of 12, she moved to Mexico with her family, where her father was appointed personal physician to the newly appointed Emperor of Mexico, Ferdinand Maximilian. After a rebellion, the emperor was disposed, and the Moronis found themselves living in Davenport, Iowa, where she was accused of murdering a farmer after a violent attack. She fled and head west, where her story truly begins. She has been a wife, a mother, saloon hostess, dance hall girl, hotel owner, brothel madam, and even an accused murderess. As a result of the numerous relationships she has gone by, Katie Elder, Mary Cummings, and Mary Howard, she is best known throughout the Southwest as Big Nose Kate. Oh my. And as the longtime companion and lover of her handsome Southern gentleman friend, Mr. John Henry Holliday, infamous gunfighter, gambler, and dentist. Kate first met Doc in St. Louis in the late 1860s. They had a turbulent relationship for the next 18 years. They quarreled, parted, and reunited many times throughout the years, whether it be in Kansas, Texas, Colorado, South Dakota, Nevada, the New Mexico Territory, or Arizona. In the mid-1879, at the request of Doc's good friend Wyatt Earp, Kate and Doc headed to Prescott, Arizona, where they stayed for 6 months while the Earps continued on to Tombstone. Here Doc had plenty of time for his favorite pastimes, faro and poker. With Kate at his side, Doc made good money, and he and Kate lived in style while his luck held on. Kate and Doc's relationship became strained in the early 1879. He wanted to leave Prescott for Tombstone to join the Earps, but Kate begged him to stay with her. They argued and Doc stayed behind. Doc continued to win at the tables until around March of 1880. It was this time that Doc received a letter from Wyatt urging him to come to Tombstone again. Kate was angry and told him, "If you're going to tie yourself to the Earps, go to it. I'm going to Globe." Kate visited Doc several times over the next year until she finally moved to Tombstone in March of 1881. For her evening out, Kate was wearing a two-piece ensemble of red and black brocade and matted silk. Her black skirt is double pleated with the hem and pulled up in the back to provide for a small bustle. But Kate never wears the proper bustle. Doc does not like bustles, preferring a more natural behind. Kate's coordinated puff-sleeved bodice is made of red brocade with small black flowers depicting an oriental design and feathers and features black frog closures down the front. The neckline, hem, and sleeves have black lace with small satin pleats accented with tiny sequin bows. Kate is donning a matching teardrop hat fashioned from the same red and black brocade fabric. Features ostrich feathers and red and black pheasant feathers, jewels, and thin white lace circles the brim. She completes the picture with coordinating jewelry, gifts from many admirers. Black gloves and black Victorian boots. She carries a fan and a parasol, a necessity in the harsh Arizona heat. Underneath it all, Kate was wearing all the required Victorian undergarments, pantaloons, petticoat, and the ever-present tortuous corset. As always, Kate carries a small reticule or purse to hold a few personal items, a lace handkerchief for herself, a bottle of Laundrum for Doc, who suffers from tuberculosis. However, the most necessary item she carries is her derringer. Kate never goes anywhere without it, just in case somebody falsely accuses them of cheating at poker or faro, and they have to shoot their way out of town. Thank you for coming, Kate. And here we have Lady Doe Tabor, born Elizabeth McCourt in 1854, of Irish Catholics in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Baby Doe Tabor was known as a homewrecker, a shameless hussy, a gold digger, and shunned by society women. She was an adventurous woman who knew what she wanted, and she wanted to be wealthy. She was first married to Harvey Doe, who turned out to be shiftless, couldn't provide her with the wealthy lifestyle she felt she deserved, and he eventually deserted her. They divorced in 1882. Enter Horace Tabor in baby's life. Horace is wearing a top hat, fashionable for the time, and proper dress for charity balls, and entertaining at social affairs conducted in their home. He carries a cane with a gold knob and a gold watch fob and watch. He wears spats as fashionable in men's footwear. He carries a wooden mustache comb in his vest pocket and a diamond ring on his finger. Horace Tabor, also known as the Silver King and mayor of Leadville, Colorado, he was very successful, a very generous prospector and businessman, and a Republican politician. He was a senator from Colorado at one time, a lieutenant governor, and worth over $10 million. Wish I knew what that was in today's. He was also married. Horace eventually divorced his wife in 1883, and as a result became a social outcast because everyone knew about his affair with Baby. He and Baby married soon after the divorce was final. Because of his successful mining operation, they lived the life Baby had always wanted. She wore all the latest fashions from Paris, jewels of great value, and spared no expense in her opulent lifestyle. Today she's wearing an antique gold brocade evening dress with a train and and olive green accents. She is also carrying the latest and greatest. At her waist is her Shady, also known as a Victorian lady's toolbox. Her necklace and earrings are made of beautiful diamonds. Her parasol is covered with fabric to match her gown. Despite her elegance and wealth, Baby was still shunned by the prominent women she didn't seem to care about. Their most successful mine, the Matchless, continued to produce all the silver they needed. Then it happened. The repeal of the Sherman Silver Purchase Act. The United States government was no longer going to back its paper money with silver. The silver prices plummeted. The Tabors were broke. They had all their eggs in the silver mine basket. Their opulent lifestyle was gone. They moved into a smaller house and then even a smaller house. Horace took ill in 1899 and died within a few days, and Baby was alone. Horace had made her promise to never let the Matchless mine go, that it would be worth something one day again. She was heartbroken because she had loved him deeply. She moved into the tool shed next to the Matchless mine and worked the mine herself. Considered mad, she could be seen in an old horsehair coat, her feet wrapped in gunny sacks, making her way to town to bring in what small amount of ore she could find. She lived there for 36 years and died in the winter of 1935 at the age of 81. She was found dead by a neighbor after the neighbor had failed to see smoke coming from Baby's chimney. There was no food in the house, no firewood, and Baby was frozen stiff. But she had fulfilled her promise to Horace. She hadn't sold the Matchless mine. The story is inspired by The Silver Dollar, a movie starring Edward G. Robinson as Horace Tabor, seeing ghosts of his wife, Baby Doe Tabor. Next to riches. Well, when we started, some of our ladies were going to a tea at a friend's house, and our next model is coming home from the tea. Today we have Mrs. Bradford back from an afternoon outing with friends. She just came home from an afternoon tea with some ladies, and as always, getting ready for the day is a lot of work. Also, undressing for the day is a lot of work. So with the help of her maid and a couple of our members, we're going to help Mrs. Bradford undress. Are you all ready? First of all, we're going to start with, she had to carry a reticule, which would keep her hanky, maybe Londrum if she's not feeling well that day, perfume. She has a parasol to keep the hot sun off her face. Ladies, when they go out, they wear gloves. Never see a lady, probably that even some of the ladies of the night over there walk out on the street without gloves on. Hers are lightly woven, fingerless. Some can be long sleeve. If it's an evening event, they'll wear long ones that come up their arms because their top is not covering them from head to toe.
They're so delicate.
We got those off. That took a few seconds. Okay, now she has her hat. We're not going to finish her day without getting that hat off. Her hat matches her dress, and it has ostrich feathers, jewelry, and other adornments on the hat. And her dressmaker made sure it would match. Of course, she has a pocket watch so she can keep tabs of what time it is. And a lot of ladies have those little pockets in their dresses that they can pop that in. She also has matching earrings, but for today we're leaving those on. Next comes the bodice. We didn't have zippers back then. Everything was put with buttons. So now we have a whole lot of buttons to undo. And each button is covered to match the fabric in her dress, which is of 2 tones of teal and gold brocade. The sleeve is 3/4 length. And the way the bodice is made, it gives them that hourglass look that all ladies enjoyed back then. Next is an overskirt. The overskirt is 2 tones of teal. The sides are gathered with flowers. You want to turn around so they can see the flowers in the back. And then with a waterful look as the way that the back of just the overskirt hangs over the skirt below. So more than one layer. So that's called an overskirt. Who's got the music going? Okay, and then the last part of her day dress is a beautiful cotton and silk foundation skirt. The buttons are to keep the skirt on, because like I said, we didn't have zippers yet. They were invented until 1893, and they were pretty much on the East Coast a long time before they made it out to us. This dress is trimmed with a ruffle and gold brocade across the bottom. Well, that was just the outer part of her dress. Now all the different things we have to put underneath the dress to be a lady. Mrs. Bradshaw was kind of in a hurry when she went out this morning and forgot to put her bustle on, but her type of dress didn't always require one, and if she had a bustle on, it would have gone right in the back and it would have given a lift in the back of the dress. So today she forgot to put it on. She was kind of in a hurry. But I wanted to let you know that was another piece of clothing.
Wasn't big enough anymore.
There you go. Okay, now we have a petticoat, which is normally always cotton to keep it cool. And she also has what we call a corset, a camisole over the corset. Corsets were made most of the time out of lace and whalebone, and it was very hard to keep clean in the West. They usually brushed them off. You didn't get them wet. And so they had to wear an over corset, an over camisole, and an under camisole to keep the perspiration off the corset and keep it from getting damaged. And so she has the corset on, an under camisole, over camisole, and everybody is easier to wash those. Many of the ladies back then did not own more than one corset. So once you were fitted to that one, your body size better not change like we do today. You had the one, you hope to stay fitted because they were very expensive and they were hard to get to make fit. Someone with a husband or that family had money, they could have 2 or 3 different corsets depending on what was going on in their lifestyle. So she probably has more than one, so she can make sure they always fit. You gonna take that one off? All right. She's gonna work on taking the over camisole off, so you can see that she does have an under camisole and the corset. She also has cotton silk stockings on, and they used garters back then to hold them up, and her black dress shoes that tie in the front. And of course, all the ladies wore bloomers. Now there's 2 styles of bloomers, but I think most ladies back then wore the crotchless bloomers. And as you can see with all those things she had on, if there was a moment where she was looking to go somewhere, she didn't always have to have help. She could take care of business herself. So they were called crotchless bloomers. Well, it has been a long day.
And I think it's time for you to put your
robe on and enjoy a nice cup of tea.
thank you.
Thank you, everyone. All my fashion people, come out, please. These are all real people in the community or some community that we pulled our history from. Everyone does a lot of work of looking up of who they were. So all our words were up today about people either from somewhere else who came to Prescott and made their living here, or the second to the last one was a different group, and you can see that in Colorado and Linville. Thank you all very, very much. Thanks, everybody.